An important message from Chicagoland residents who gathered together for the second annual Orange Party for Peace held in Hyde Park. The event honors what would have been Hadiya Pendleton's 19th birthday that now marks National Gun Violence Awareness Day. Hadiya and so many others like her have lost their lives too soon to gun violence.
We wear orange for Tyrone Lawson, my son, 17 years old, killed at Chicago State, January 16, 2013. I forget the date because it was unbelievable.
Unbelievable may be an appropriate word to describe the drastic increase in homicides occurring in Chicago's west and south sides.
Enough is enough, and we have one life too many taken, one innocent life too many taken in Chicago.
These are the words of Chicago Police Commander Ronald M. Holt, who has not only been impacted by gun violence professionally, but also personally.
You probably see me wearing this button. This was my son, Blair, and he was murdered on May 10th, 2007, protecting a classmate out on the south side of Chicago after they left school.
According to the Chicago Tribune, in 2016 alone, more than 1,500 people were shot in Chicago. Of these 1,500, 259 were fatal. And of these 259, 66 of them happened in the month of May, making this the deadliest May since 1995. Arthur Lorigio, a criminology professor from Loyola University, claims one factor to the rise in homicides stems from gangs no longer fighting over territory, rather fighting over insults. He says in a phone interview,
tweeting back and forth or posting on Facebook that has now become a communication modality for rival gang factions to communicate in an antagonistic, contentious way, in a recriminatory manner. And that has led to an escalation of conflict.
In one well-known case where social media triggered violence involved gang member Jakira Barnes, who was responsible for shooting up to 20 rival gang members. In a tweet, she referenced an address and also the letters LZ, which has a variety of meanings to Chicago gangs. Later that day, she was murdered near the same address. Octavia Johnson, a DePaul senior, has experienced firsthand the acts of senseless violence. Johnson is from the Austin community but was shot last July in Englewood. These happen to be two of the most dangerous neighborhoods in Chicago.
The neighborhood where I'm from, the Austin community, we're number one at that list. And to see that we're number one at that list, it hurts me and it saddens me because I just feel like my community of Black people, we're dying for nothing, like literally nothing. We're dying over materialistic things, he say, she say things, social things that you put on social media. Like really, my question to my community is, what do you gain from taking another person's life?
And this is a question many Chicagoans are asking, yet people are taking a stand to combat the senseless killings. Students and faculty from prospective charter schools are an example of just this. They organized one of the largest student-led peace marches in Chicago's history. Father Michael Falager and former Bears player Richard Dent were some of the well-known faces that came out to support the Perspectives for Peace march.
You look out here and you see, a couple of thousand high school kids standing up for what they believe for peace. There's not a greater vision than that.
Over the course of his active ministry, Father Falager has been recognized for his fight against injustice and his work to promote equality.
There's no question there's hope for it to get better, but there's a lot of work we got to do. We got to bring jobs, we got to have good education, we've got to bring economic development, we've got to deal with this proliferation of guns, and we've got to reach out to our young people.
Professor Lorigio agrees there is a lot of work to be done.
To change this, we have to change the neighborhood itself. And you can only do that by starting an economic investment. The housing stock needs to be upgraded. There are swaths of Englewood and other neighborhoods in which there's boarded up houses for blocks and blocks.
He continued by saying,
the city's investing, but they're not investing in the neighborhoods that need investment.
These neighborhoods being Chicago's west and south sides, where 40 to 60% of residents are living below the poverty line.
we've got to decide that we're going to do whatever it takes to save our children. And that means equaling the playing field on the south and the west side, like the north side and the north shore. So we've got work to do from the institution-wise, from city and from state, work to do from the churches, and work to do right in the neighborhood on the block. But if we all decide we're going to do this, it's not a matter of whether we can do it, so we have the will to do it.
And it can all start by putting the guns down for not only a better Chicago, but for a better world.
What I think is so beautiful about every town that we're all wearing orange, because it doesn't matter where we come from. This is a problem that really touches everybody. We have to protect our kids. What is more precious in our life than to protect our children?
For Good Day to Paul, I'm Lauren Autry.